Hi guys, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and again I am participating in a YouTube hop which is using things from our stash, and the requirement for this month was to use some ribbon or some twine. So I'm using the papers and the collection that was in my homemade kit. If you are following along with our kit videos, you can see those are there. And I've got a really gorgeous black and white piece of ribbon that I'm using as a bit of a featured border on this layout. So you can see I've cut a few different bits of paper there, and I really loved both sides of that large yellow and white one, so I folded a little bit over to see the black spotty dots. Now I've stuck all that down with the double-sided tape, and I've just ran a new piece of double-sided tape along where I want the ribbon to go. And I'm only pulling off a little bit at a time as I stick the ribbon down. And I found that using double-sided tape to hold my ribbon was perfectly fine. It was strong enough to keep it in place, and it didn't, the stickiness didn't come through or anything like that. And I've just secured the back in place with some sticky tape. You don't have to do that, you could cut it so it fits exactly, but I didn't want the edges fraying. But do be aware as well that that does provide a little bit of a lump on your page, but I figure because of all the embellishments and things anyway, there's already going to be lumps on my page so that you wouldn't really notice. I just remembered I had that gorgeous big wood veneer with the love hearts and thought this would go perfectly with this layout. I had grand plans of doing some amazing different things with it, using some different effects, but in the end it was all just a little bit too much for me. I wasn't sure how to do a lot of the ideas that had been suggested to me on the Scrapaholics website, so I've just kept it plain and boring and as is. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a play around with different ephemera and wood veneers and paper clips. I couldn't get any of the paper clips to work on this layout. I do find using paper clips on scrapbooking layouts a little bit difficult, but I have done it. Check out our other videos if you'd like to see how I've included those. I really loved using the little birds and the camera on this layout because it helped tie in that love heart wood veneer by just picking up a few other wood veneer pieces. Now that part in the top left hand corner of the photograph with the star on it is a homemade embellishment, and there's also a video on how Katie made those homemade embellishments right back at one of our very first videos we ever did. So I'm sticking on the wood veneer with sticky dots. I do sometimes use PVA, but I've just found the sticky dots are so much easier than the PVA glue, and they hold really, really well. To even out where the wood veneer is, I'm just putting some foam stickies on the edges of those squares so that they actually make it all the way to the paper and there's something to stick to. And then double-sided tape for everything else that is just being laid out on the page. So I know that this is quite fast, but you sort of saw what I was doing when I was playing around with the different bits of embellishments and stuff, so I'm now just going through the process of sticking that all down. I found this layout really quick and easy. I think because the photograph had really similar colours to what the rest of the papers that I've used were. It was just so simple. I just pulled out black and white things basically and then stuck them all on. It was a lot of fun, and I was really happy with how it turned out. So that's all of my little bits and pieces stuck on. I just have to do the enamel dots and a little bit of Heidi Shine. So I decided to just stick with yellow coloured enamel dots to pick up the yellow in the larger piece of paper down the bottom. And he did have yellow in his pants, but I stuck the bicycle wheel over that so you can't see that anymore. But I just thought the yellow complemented the bottom section really, really well. So I was happy with that. And then I get a little bit of gold Heidi Shine, and I shake, 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 shake my Heidi Shine. And those of you that haven't used Heidi Shine before, you just shake it up until the colour on the bottom, like if you turn it upside down, is all mixed in. And if you're quick enough and you rub with a tissue, if you get any on your photo, it'll come straight off. And there are some close-ups. You can see the ribbon there. It was gorgeous. Like and subscribe.